When Lena Cotsworth Clark started York House in 1932, she had a vision to create a unique girls' school in Canada that would not only educate young women, but also encourage self-reliance and independence. Mrs. Clark chose 6 visionary teachers, and together, they laid the foundation for the forward-thinking school we have today. York House began with just 17 students. Mrs. Clark encouraged everyone to be respectful of one another and follow the school motto, "Not for ourselves alone." Be not easily discouraged. At all times, persevere and live according to the law that each has recognized for herself. York House began as both a day and boarding school. Between 1932 and 1936, boarders lived on the top floors of 2 leased properties, the Whitaker and Bowman houses on Granville Street. In 1937, the school purchased the Minnie E. Ladner estate at the corner of Alexandra and King Edward, which served as the residence for the next 23 years until boarding was discontinued in 1960. In 1939, York House purchased the Leon Ladner home at 1550 King Edward for a junior school, and the Walter Evans home at 4105 Granville for a senior school. In those early years, York House established traditions that are still followed today, including the green and gold uniform, the school song, the school march, the school motto, candlelight service, and Founders Day. The first students at York House studied a variety of subjects, including languages, art, history, and English, as well as science, mathematics, and social studies. They also had dance and physical education. Drama and sports were especially important for Yorkies. From the very beginning, the York House founders wanted to cultivate a place of community and belonging. This strong sense of community has carried York House through some difficult times. During World War II, Yorkies sewed blankets, handkerchiefs, and knit socks and scarves for soldiers. York House students started volunteering for the Red Cross, something that still happens today. After the war, York House continued to grow and develop as a school, while still following the early values of the founders. In 1963 to 64, York House started a pilot bilingual and bicultural program to help Yorkies become fluent French speakers. Formally instituted in 1968, students in grades 1 through 6 studied half their subjects in French and the other half in English. In the early 2000s, York House became the birthplace of AIM language learning, and the B&B program was slowly phased out. Boys began attending York House nursery classes in 1963 and increased in numbers with the start of the bilingual and bicultural program in 1968. Boys only attended the junior school, and by 1993, the last York House boys had completed their studies. Many York House boys went on to St. George's School after grade 6. Though buildings have changed, and many students have now passed through its halls, the sense of school spirit and community at York House continues. The York House founders were influential in creating an environment that encouraged exploration and risk-taking. Building on our history and traditions, we still embrace that philosophy as we move forward in the 21st century.